Irish. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our special workshop this morning. I suppose it's not morning where everybody is, but Mativa a show. So Mativa hula dunya agus falsha don vu obrach honcha aki. So today we're going to learn some farewell and goodnight songs in Irish and Scottish Gaelic. So Jewish Washin Adol Music and the Horain farewell and goodnight and Gaelic agus Gaelic na Halaba. I'm delighted to be working with my Zoom friends Moira and Nichélica and I'm just going to admit somebody and Moini later and Hotolish we got Bedri Mahajan Moini later Moini Nichélica agus Moira. The two Moiras are going to start off with teaching us a Mogilia Ver, and then in an hour's time we want to learn a verse and a chorus of Sorry Lave, which is our song to close Scottish Gaelic Katie. So Moira agus Moira, ha Moira agus Moira dol a hegas gain Mogilia Ver agus an ceann híse ha sin adal a úsicig round agus séis de a Sorry Lave ha sin out a glesin is an céli a Gaelic a gunig. So there we are. That's our start, a bit of Scottish Gaelic, but obviously we're moving into some Irish Gaelic. So I'm absolutely delighted to introduce the two Moiras and Moira Nichélica. They're both actually from Cork. Moira Nichélica will be known to many of us as a singer of Irish Gaelic songs, and she also has presented many singing workshops over the years. And Moira Nichélica also is a singer that I know many a sing, and was brought up in the medium of Irish. So I'm going to hand over to the two of you. You both need to unmute, and we're all looking forward hugely to your workshop. We are recording, and if anyone has not got access to the words, hopefully you all had them in advance. If you've not got them, please drop me a line in the chat and your email, and I'll whiz it over to you during the workshop. Thank you. Okay, so over to yourselves.
Gurmahagut Lynn, Gurmahagut, thank you very much, Gurmahagut, August. Tá mar agus mé féin tá ní anhásta bheithan seo chun órán amháin a roint live. And I said I'd say a few words first about Mogilia Mar, agus about the background to it, agus deirigh mé as béal agus begani Gaeilge chuma. So Mogilia Mar is often sung at the end of a night in Ireland, especially Cork, Hule. They used to sing it a lot at the end of their concerts, and it became popular, and a lot of people know the song now and sing it at the end of the night. And just to say, and I'll try and move it on now, I suppose, the words are a mixture of two songs, just for those interested in the history of it. Two songs by the same poet, Sean Clárach MacDonald, and I'll put his name in the chat when Maura is going through the words. In 1691 to 1754, you'll see in your verses there, the main song is the song with the second verse, which is Bím se buan búirt gach lo, and that's a lament of the failure of the Jacobite rising of 1745. So there's a link to Scotland there, and Ireland is lamenting the exile of Bonnie Prince Charlie. That's basically it. And he's often referred to as Mogilia Mar. And the first verse is also composed by MacDonald about a different rising, 1715. And it has a different air as well. So it's a combination of two songs. The first verse is one poem, and the rest of it is the other poem, Bím se buan búirt gach lo. It's associated with Sean O'Reilly because 'twas he sourced the tune from a man in County Cork in Moosegree, and another poet there, Donal Hine, put verses, these verses to that air. So that's why it's linked to Cooley. And Donal Hine chose the verses that were most universal, really, so that it's a reference to the Jacobite Rising, but is also sung to celebrate any heroes. So that's the bit of history lesson there now, if you can follow all that. Agus Anish, Mara, agus mé fé roiimid trí na focail agus on Tauran féin. So Mara will go through the pronunciation and the meanings and of each verse as we go along. We might do 2 verses, we might do 3, depending how we go along, whatever we get done by 5 to 11. Agus, few one, even if it's 2 verses and the chorus, big shishin go bra. And you'll have the others for your own information there. There are several other verses, tá versi eile, ach seo na cín around the an seo. And at the end, just to let you know, there's a different chorus at the end there, and that's just for your information as well. Sometimes that's sung at the very end, but we'll stick to the regular chorus today. So, Anish, roime araigenish chuig mar ní léir agus tá sí chun dul trí an céad versa agus an céad chur fá na focail agus an pronunciation. Liv.
Right, gur magad a bhaire agus tá sé an das sena cháde agus nua cháde eáil. It's lovely to see old and hopefully new friends again. And I can see Barra is here twice. He's so good. He's here twice, I think. Barra Queeve. Das to eáil, well, ní fedlam to eáil. A bhaire, ceapas go raibh tú chuné a chana ar dús.
Oh, time chuné chana, my time chuné chana, sorry, you're there sin. What I'll do is I'll sing it down through so that you get the air of it onto your ear. I'll sing down the whole lot of it and you'll have that then. Sorry, douche. Right, okay. Now, here we go. Shall thou sim weiden hefsen ish in weintrach chatter shre mochele traune down getren de warna gluk sun nim again shemalech moyille mar Shema hezer gillemar, suanna shem ni vures hen, o hui igen mo gillemar. Bim shebuan bort gachlo, quiga cruise turne njor, o squeale going on bochel bio, snarifter toirish uig mavron, shemalech ma yillemar, shema hezer gillemar, suanna shem ni vores hen, o huig igen ma yillemar. Ní lauren koch go soort garnoin, is níl go gaire gwil te klo, na madin hauriging launtev kyo, o dem me going on bochel bio, shemalech ma yillemar, Shema hezer gillemar, suanna shem ni vores hen, o huig igen ma gillemar. Sheinter slair chlási ceol, is líontar táinte cartar board, le hinting ard gan chaim gan cheo, chun sel is sláinte dail don leon. Gille mar sa shall fechu, is go léir faoi chlócidú. Suan na sé ní bhuairas hen, ó chuig géin má gille mar. Sé malech má gille mar, sé má hézer gille mar. Suan na sé ní bhuairas hen, ó chuig géin má gille mar. So that's a recording of it now, and I'll rhyme it a raigen is chuig mhara ní léire an sin chun leanúinte raig.
Gurmahagat Avara, and beautifully sung, and it's a very catchy melody, so it's no wonder it's such a popular one. So what I'll do is I'll say the first verse, then I'm going to break it up into bite-sized chunks. And if you feel lost or anything like that, wave or send a PM or directly. I won't be insulted if you sort of say I haven't a clue what you're on about. That's fine. So I'll start. Shall daros im weiden have, sinish im weintruch chatte ré. Michaela traune down gutchean, de vor na gnuck sin imigain. So back to the first line, and I'm going to work backwards. Second half of the first line, last two words, Weiden have, and maiden is your maiden, and have we'll say is gentle. So shall is once, shall daros. Once I was a virgin or maiden, gentle. Remember, in Irish we tend to put the adjective after the noun, just like French and Spanish in the main part. So shall daros im weiden have. Will you try that? And stay on mute, but if I see your lips moving, I know something's happening. And it's shall daros im weiden have. We'll go again. Shall daros im weiden have. Now say it on your own, to yourself. I think we're ready for the second line. Is a nish im weintruch chatte ré. Now, this could be talking about me, sort of. A baintruch, a widow, third word there. Chatte, worn out, and tre, weak. So tre is weak, chatte, worn out, baintruch is a widow, English is no. English, no. And is and. So is English im weintruch, and now a widow, chatte, worn out, tre, log. Week. So is a nish im weintruch chatte ré. Will we say it? Is a nish im weintruch chatte ré. Rish is a nish im weintruch chatte ré. We'll do the first two lines together, and it's shall daros im weiden have, is a nish im weintruch chatte ré. Try it on your own. Well, going by the way the lips were moving, it looked good. We're on to the third line. Michaela traune down go train. Kayla is spouse or husband. A trowe, ploughing, a trow. Na down, the waves. go train powerfully. So go train powerfully, no down the waves, a trower, ploughing, and mochele. Mo is my, and chele. After a mo, we've a beautiful little old H there. Mochele. Now to get that lovely sound, collect some spittle in the roof of your mouth. Keep it there. Don't spit it out. And say mochele. I presume if there a spatter hit your screen, you're flying. So mochele traune down go train. Rish mochele traune down go train. Rish mochele traune down go train. Back to the first line all together, and it's shall the rose im beiden have is een lish im weintre hatte ray. Michaela traune down good train. Are we happy? Can we have a little wave or a finger or something? Or a thumbs down if we're not? Well, we'll go with the majority. That's grand. And the spouse is gone. De vor no gnok. Gnok, there would be hills. De vor on the top of the hills, so beyond the hills. Is in Imagain. Imagain is far away, so far from here. So gnok, hills, de vor, beyond. Is and in Imagain, far away. So we'll try the fourth line. De vor no gnok sin Imagain. De vor no gnok sin Imagain. Now we'll say the 4 lines together, and maybe Mara, will you give us a blast and we'll see, we'll stroke all along. We'll be grand. Shall Doros im weiden have, sin lish im weintrach hatte ray. Michaela traune down good train, de vor na gnoxin. That sounded good. Now, of our Dorito Blash doing, let the hoil.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to, Grand, I've unmuted there now. Thanks, Mara, Vishishineros, our fad. Excellent, Mara. And I think if you can say it, with the rhythm of the language, you'll be able to sing it easier then, that's the theory behind that. So I'll sing the first 2 lines and we'll see if you can pick it up easily enough. So it's shall the rose im weiden have. So the first 3 notes are the same. Shall the rose im weiden have. So let you all try it there now. Shall the rose im weiden have. And the next one, Sinish. You kind of say Sinish or Isinish. Sinish im weintrach hatte ray. Now, it is difficult to separate out lines musically, so we'll sing the 2 lines together. 2 lines is easier than 1. Shall the rose im weiden have, Sinish im weintrach hatte ray. So we'll do it again, and you can sing it away with me, please. Shall the rose im weiden have, Sinish im weintrach hatte ray. Now, are you okay with that? Is that all right? Now, the next bit. Michaela traune, and it's just trau. Michaela traune down go train. Michaela traune down go train. You can sing it by yourselves now. Michael Trona down trail. And then the last bit. Devor nagnok sunnim again. Devor nagnok sunnim again. By yourselves. We'll do the last two lines. Michael Trauna down go trail, Devor nagnok sinnim again. We'll do the verse, the whole verse now. You can sing it with me, and we'll see how you're getting on with that now. Shall thou sim weiden hef sin im Weintrach chatter fre, Michael traune down getrail, Devor nagnok sin im again. I'll sing it very quietly and let you sing it out and see, can you get it? Okay. Shall thou sim weiden hef, sin im Weintrach chatter fre, Michael traune down getrail, Devor nagnok sin im again. How are you doing with that, do you think? A thumbs up or a... Now, would somebody like to try it, please? Someone like to try it? Doesn't matter. If you... Right, Libby. Okay, away with you. And I correct any little thing that I think,
that's
you know.
lovely. Yeah, that'll be fine.
Okay.
I kind of, I've half known it before, but the pronunciation is what I get wrong. I'll go a bit lower. Shall thou sim weiden hef, sin im Weintrach chatter fre, Michael traune down getrail, Devor nagnok sin im again.
That's perfect. That's absolutely Tasha Shin Furifed. Nilean
I always
huh?
I often go in vai dawn shave. In vai dawn shave, and I have in Weiden have is
in Weiden have, yeah. Would anybody else like to have a go? Are you okay? You're okay. Listen, that anyone else now? Right, James. Right, away lad.
Shall... I was just going to choose a new key.
Shall... There.
Shall daraus im Weiden hef, Shanishi im Weintrach schreitere, Mochela trauna don gotren, Devor nagnok sin im again.
Excellent altogether. Now it's down because of, I know you can say down in certain dialects, but because of the meter, it's down. A trauna down, okay? And the other one thing was, but no, sing it again for me, James.
Would it be too naive to ask why something that looks like trevar and something that looks like don both come out as aun?
You know, we could spend a half an hour now, but I leave that trow anyway. Sing it again for me, James, please.
Shall daraus im Weiden hef, Shanishi im Weintrach heitere.
No, that's chatte. Yeah, right? Chatte.
Okay. And Weintrach.
Yeah.
Shall daraus im Weiden hef, Shanishi im Weintrach heitere.
Yeah.
Mochela trauna down do tren, the vorna grok in seen him again.
That's it. Perfect. Anavar fad. Right, so we leave that for the first verse there, Bader. Are you happy to leave that for the moment? And then we'll go on to the chorus. Right of Ara, we'll go on to the chorus now. Marsha the Holle.
Gurmahagat Avoira. The Kurfa, just very quickly, I'm going to explain the meaning of one word in each line very quickly. Third word, first line, leich would be hero. Third word, second line, hazer, that's Caesar, as in Caesar. And nivoris in the next line, the third line, nivoris, I did not get. Nivoris, I didn't get. And just the last three words in the chorus, the name of the song itself, Mo Gille Mar. And remember, Gille is your lad and Mar, gallant. So I'll start off and I'll say the verse now, or the chorus rather. She Malech Mo Gille Mar. She Ma Hazer Gille Mar. Soon na sé an ní bhuiras féin ó chuige géin mo Gille Mar. And remember to get the r sound, spittle, roof of the mouth, keep it there. Sé Malech. So sé Malech. Say it. Malech. Mo Gille Mar. Mo Gille Mar. We'll say the line together. She Malech Mo Gille Mar. Arish. She Malech Mo Gille Mar. Yourselves on your own. That looked pretty good with the reading there. Will anyone just chance saying that line just for the crack? Or will you be volunteered? Oh, Lynn, away lad.
Hag Maglú. Sé mo leoch mo ile mar.
Nearly there. Very good. She Malech Mo Gille. Gille. Could you try Gille?
Sé mo leoch mo ile mar.
Níos fearr. Beag nach chun, nearly there. It'll arrive. Anybody else? Okay, I'm volunteering Catherine.
Sé Malech Mo Gille Mar.
Furfa.
And David as well there now. Had to
Oh, I missed David. Away lad, David.
Sé Molech Mo Gille Mar.
Nearly there. Malech was absolutely divine. The CH was beautiful at the end of Leich. Mo Gille. So I suppose maybe it's harder to get the lovely sound at the beginning of a word, maybe. Mo Gille. Will you try that, David?
Mo Gille.
Nearly there. It's not a CH sound, it's a GH.
It's a GH.
Gille.
Yeah.
As if you're you've got a sore throat and you're trying to gargle, kind of.
Mo Gille.
Yeah. Okay.
Mo
We'll go on.
Gille.
Mahu, Shane. Second line. She mo hazer Gille Mar. So Gille this time there's no H, so it's just Gille. So can we work backwards there, end of the second line? Gille Mar. Arish? Gille Mar. On your own. And the first half of the second line, She mo hazer. Arish? She mo hazer. Urawain ella? She mo hazer. The whole line, She mo hazer Gille Mar. Arish? She mo hazer Gille Mar. And one volunteer, just one volunteer to say that line, and it's? Don't kill yourselves in the rush. Yes, it's Stephanie.
Sé mo hazer Gille Mar.
Go brar fad, go ramile furfa. So we'll try the two lines of the chorus there together. We'll do it twice, then you'll do it on your own. She mo leich mo Gille Mar. She mo hazer Gille Mar. Urawain ella? sé mo leach mo hiile mar, sé mo héiser gile mar. If we're neaner on your lonesome, sé mo leach mo hiile mar, sé mo héiser gile mar. Now, could we have somebody who didn't speak before trying the 2 lines? We are among friends. I see Doug first up with the hand. Right, we just have 1 volunteer for these at the moment. Right, away, let Doug.
Sé mo leich mo gile mar, sé mo héiser gile mar.
Mahu, and you know what, self-correction is great. That shows you're in a cute ear. Grand. We'll move on to the 3rd line now. Suan na Shane. Suan is, Doug didn't get much last night because of the dog. So Suan is your sleep. Na Shane, happiness. So sleep or happiness, ní vuris. Remember I told you that I did not get, and the fein there is just emphasizing that I didn't get it, not that you didn't get it. Suan na Shane ní vuris fein. Sibse? Suan na Shane ní vuris fein. Orhain eile? Suan na Shane ní vuris fein. On your lonesome? Ní vuris fein. And volunteer, just to say that line, just 1 volunteer. Don't kill yourselves in the rush. Somebody who hasn't spoken. Yes, Marianne.
Suan na Shane ní vuras chéin.
Mahu go brawer fad. And we'll mosey on to the last line. And Mohila Mar, remember, at the end of that line is my gallant lad. Again is far away, again working backwards. And o huig, o in that context means since. Huig went, and we tend to put our verb first in Irish. Huig me is went I, if we want to do a literal translation. So o huig again, since Mohila Mar, going back to the back of the line, my gallant lad, huig, back to the second word, went again far away. O huig again Mohila Mar. Gachenia? O huig again Mohila Mar. Arish? O huig again Mohila Mar. Live fain on your own. O huig again Mohila. And 1 volunteer who hasn't spoken yet. That's Brendan, good lad.
Níor a bhís go mar churas mo lábhsa. Ó chuig I gcéin mo ghiile mar. Ó chuig I gcéin mo ghiile mar.
Yeah, you were volunteered, Brendan.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah.
I'm just trying to, just making sure we're all awake as well. So we'll
Can't you go with Tom Glee? I'm working away here all the time.
Oh, sure. Thais, I know that, sure. Sure, look, your background is very apt.
So you're just
knowing the waves there in your boat.
For every Tá de Valdra a Roskilde gum. I have the Valdra's dictionary open. I'd like sourcing little bits of finicky bits. Okay, sorry, on you.
Right, but is it okay?
On you go. Your course is wonderful, wonderful.
Right, we'll say the chorus together, and it's She Malech Mohila Mar. She Mohazer Gilamar. Suan na she ni vuras fein o hoig again Mohila. Okay, once more, Urawainella, because we're going to have a treat, because Mara is going to sing it now very shortly. And it's She Malech Mohila Mar. She Mohazer Gilamar. Suan na she ni vuras fein o huig again Mohila Mar. Can we have 1 volunteer to say the first 2 lines and another volunteer to say the second 2 lines of the chorus? Somebody who hasn't spoken yet, maybe? Okay, James, you have, but your hand is up, so you will do the first 2 lines and the second 2 lines. Do I see Sarah there volunteering? Yes, I do. Grand job. Okay. Way lads, James.
Shem olech mohil mar. Shem ochez argil mar.
Mahu, James. Right, Sarah, next two.
Okay. Soon no Shane ni vorus fein o kuig igain mo gile mar.
Yeah, practically there, just a teensy winchy little tweaking, I'd say. Suana Shane.
Soon no Shane.
Untach. And then in the last line, the second last word, mo yille. Just try mo yille.
Mo yille.
Perfect. Guramila, thank you. Avira Oelat.
Mara, you're doing a blinder there with the pronunciation, so they'll be able to sing it in 2 seconds. So we'll do the first 2 lines of it there now. So it is, so do you know what we'll sing, I'll sing the first verse and then we'll go into the chorus. So, shall the sim weiden have, sen is im weintrach chatter frey, my hele traune downgetren, de vorne gnuk sin nim again. And now the chorus. Shemalech. So first 3 notes the same. Shemalech mo'gile mar. Shema hezer gile mar. So we'll try and do the 2 lines. With me. Shemalech mo'gile mar. Shema hezer gile mar. Are you okay with that? You think? Right? We'll go on. Suanna shelni vores fein. Suanna shelni vores fein. Some people say hain, so don't worry if you hear that. Suanna shelni vores fein. O huig again mo mar. I'll do the last 2 lines now. Suanna shen ni vores fein. O huig again mo mar. We'll do the whole lot and you can sing it with me. She malech mo gile mar. She mo hezer gile mar. Suanna shelni vores fein. O huig again mo gile mar. And to Suan, as Mara said, that's a diphthong, you know, and Shean. Now, would anybody like to have a go at it? Because we'll definitely get verse 2 done as quickly as we can now. But just, would anybody like to try the chorus? One person at all. Or, right, Doug? Right.
Excuse me. Shemolech mo'gil mar. Shemo hezer gilhamar, suon sheni voras fen, o huig again mo yilhamar.
Excellent altogether. That's excellent altogether. Honestly, really and truly now, do you see the second gila in the second line? It doesn't have that softening on it. It's just gilhamar, an ordinary G, Doug. That's the only thing I heard there. Okay. Would anyone else like to have one go and then we'll go to the second verse? Are we okay? Will you give me a thumbs up if you're okay with it? Do you think you're okay with it? With the tune of it and everything? Okay. Listen, we'll belt along to verse 2, so I'll hand over to Mara. Okay.
If you hear funny sounds, it's the dog under the table wagging her tail. So I'm just going to give the meaning of one word in each line and then break it into little bits. Last word in the first line, low day, low day. Nor, in last word in the second line, tears. The last three words in the third line, buachil bio, buachil, boy or lad, and bio, lively, buachil, lad. Movrone, last two words in the last line there, alas. Movrone, alas. Back up to the first line there of verse 2. I'm working backwards. Last two words, gach lo. Abere, gach lo. Rish, gach lo. The two words before those, boort, upset, boort, upset, gach lo, gach every, gach lo every day, upset every day, boort gach lo, aber, boort gach lo. So remember our verb goes first in Irish very often, beamshe, I am, buan, constantly, boort, upset. Beam, and it's in the present historic, it's kind of I'd be. And in Hiberno English, we tend to say, some people would still say, I'd be tired in the morning when I wake up. And Doug would say, I'd be very tired when the dog is barking all night. So, beamshe buan boort gach lo. Aber, beamshe buan boort gach lo. Rish, beamshe buan boort gach lo. On your lonesome, beamshe buan boort gach lo. Now who'll try that on their own? Just one line, somebody who hasn't said anything yet. I see it's Dawn. Good girl yourself.
Beamshe buan buan gach lo.
Nearly there. It was really, really good. Just a little suggestion there for the third and fourth words. Boort. Can we all say it? Boort. And Dawn, on your lonesome?
Beamshe buan boort gach lo.
Mahu. Anoa. We'll go on to the second line. A quee, crying. So what have they got here? They have grieving, all right. A quee go cruig, so crying hard, so grieving sorely. So a quee go cruig, grieving sorely. Ag tour nyor, dior, tears. Ag tour, showing signs of tears. Ag tour nyor, showing signs of tears. Ag tour nyor. Will we try the second half of that line? Ag tour nyor. Back to the beginning. Ag qui go cruig se tour nyor. Ag qui go cru. Vara, do you say ag go crua or go cruig? I'm trying to remember.
Go crua.
Okay, grand. So ag qui go crua seg tour nyor. Ag qui go crua se tour nyor. And very often, if you have a word in AG and a verb following it, we tend to say a rather than egg. We tend to say a qui rather than egg qui. A qui go crua se tour nyor. Arish, a qui go crua se tour nyor. We'll say that twice more loudly because it's a bit convoluted. A qui go crua se tour nyor. A qui go crua se tour nyor. On your lonesome, a qui go crua se tour nyor. Right, who'll try that on his or her own? If you look me in the eye, of course, I suppose I could nearly volunteer, ye. Says she. Go on, Stephanie.
Quig cruig sa túr na nior.
Practically there. Go crua. For the song, very often you might say what you said, but it's for the meter, it's go crua.
Go
So
crua,
our
go
go crua.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Quig crua sa túr na nior.
Mahu,
Quig crua sa túr na nor.
Yeah, Sinead. So can we say the two lines together? Bímse buanar búirt gach ló a cuí go crua sa túr na nior. Uair eile, bímse buanar búirt gach ló a cuí go crua sa túr na nior. And the volunteering, okay, it looks like it's, yeah, Brendan, and Brendan's name for short, he's called Bob. If you look at the initials of the name, B-O-B. So the answers to both.
Bímse buan búirt gach ló a chuige crua sa túr na nior.
Bhí sin go háling. And did you hear that beautiful sound for the second last word of the first line? The way Brendan said gach. Will you say it once more, because it was gorgeous, Brendan?
Gach.
Do you see that? Beautiful. I know the secret is spittle in the roof of your mouth. Yeah. Go bra. Now we're on to the third line. And remember, on Bochel bio, Bochel is the lad, and bio, lively. O squealach oing, since, and we've our verb, was sent away. Squealach was sent away. Oing, from us. And remember, O on its lonesome in this context means since. So, O, since, squealach was sent away, oing, from us, on Bochel bio, the lively lad. O squealach oing on Bochel bio. Rish, O squealach oing on Bochel bio. Rish, O squealach oing on Bochel bio. Live fain on your lonesomes. O squealach oing on Bochel bio. Back up to the beginning of that verse, all together, 3 lines. We're nearly there, and Mara's dulcet tones will be hitting us very shortly. And it's Bímse buanar búirt gach ló a cuí go crua sa túr na nior. O squealach oing on Bochel bio. And we'll actually go on to the next line because time is running short. And remember, Mavrone, what does that mean? Alas. And Tuarishk is news in the context. Tuarishk, the fourth word in the fourth line there. Tuarishk, news. Uig, from him. And riamhtar or riamhtar is no riamhtar, is not heard. And the apostrophe S at the beginning means and. So and apostrophe S, no riamhtar, tuarishk. Tuarishk is news, no riamhtar is not heard. So no news is heard, as you see in the meanings there. Uig, from him. Mavrone, alas. So Mavrone, alas. Tuarishk uig, news from him, is no riamhtar, and no news is heard, no riamhtar, Tuarishk uig, news from him, alas. Sná riamhtar tuarishk uig Mavrone. Arish, sná riamhtar tuarishk uig Mavrone. Uairháin eile, sná riamhtar tuarishk uig Mavrone. So can we have one volunteer to say the last 2 lines together? Yeah, John McGee, will you give it will you chance it, please? Let the hoil.
O squeal an Bochel bio, sná riamhtar tuarishk uig Mavrone.
Yeah, we tend to say in our dialect, o squealach. So, O Squealach, will you try that, John?
O Squealach
Oh, beautiful
Buchel
song.
Bio.
Sorry for interrupting you there, but the was so gorgeous. I had to comment on it. I know we're going through this pretty fast, but time is moving on. So, Avara, we're really looking forward to hearing you sing.
Okay, and I'll do this as fast as I can now. The tune of the second, and Gurmahagodavar, the pronunciation there is superb now, I'd say, by everyone. It's a slightly different tune, you see, so, and it goes like, we'll do the chorus first now, everyone together there, and then I'll go into that verse. Shem olech ma yilamar, Shem o hezer gilamar, Suan Hashem ni vores fen, O chuig again ma yilamar. Maybe I go down a small bit. O chuig again ma yilamar. No, Bím se buan bort gach lo. Now you have all the pronunciation, so it is only the tune now. So, Suan Hashem ni vores fen, O chuig again ma yilamar. And then the verses. Bím se buan bort gach lo. Eg cuigo cruas a turna nor. So those two lines. Bím se buan bort gach lo. Eg cuigo cruas a turna nor. Give me a thumbs up if you think you have that. Bím se buan bort gach lo. Eg cuigo cruas a turna nor. Now, same note. O squeala going on buchel bio. O squeala going on buchel bio. So we'll do 3 lines. Bím se buan bort gach lo. Eg cuigo cruas a turna nor. O squeala going on buchel bio. Sna rifter toirish goig ma vron. Sna rifter toirish goig ma vron. Sna rifter toirish goig ma vron. We'll sing the whole verse together now, so. Bím se buan bort gach lo. Eg cuigo cruas a turna nor. O squeala going on buchel bio. Sna rifter toirish goig ma vron. Now it is nearly 11 o'clock, but would one person try singing that verse? Maybe it would be a different key now. Anyone? Will we sing it together again, so? I'll go up a small bit. Bím se buan bort gach lo. Eg cuigo cruas a turna nor. O squeala going on buchel bio. Sna rifter toirish goig ma vron. Shem olech ma yilamar. Shem o hezer gilamar. Suan Hashem ni vores fen. O chuig again ma yilamar. Are you okay, folks, with that? I'd say we'll have to leave it there. And thank you very much. I'm sure you have the recording anyway. And
okay.
Would
it be possible to sing those? Would it be possible for you to sing just through the last 2 verses, or did you do them?
They're at the beginning as well.
Oh, are they?
They are. You mean the ones on the page?
Yes, that we haven't been able to do. If you
they're. I sang those at the beginning.
Oh, did you? Okay.
I did.
Okay.
Thanks, Libby.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to hand
Thanks
you
very
back
much.
now, Guramila Mahagatavara, Ella, and I'm going to hand you back to Lynn at 1 minute past 11. Guramila Mahagav. Okay.
I have to go now, I'm afraid. Sorry.
Right, Libby. Okay.
Guramila.
Fáilte.
Guramila Mahagrav.
So mór an taing Moira agus Moira Esson bu Obroch Miavalach Mar. So thank you both for an absolutely marvelous workshop and everyone for all the participation. It's been grand. I'm going to pause the recording for just a couple of minutes so we can all grab a cup of tea. Well, we did say 5. We can grab a cup of tea and go to the and then we'll come back. So we'll come back at 11:05 and we'll do the second workshop, which is Sorry Rave. Okay, more on time. Who'll it done you? So, Farsigu Marcus agus bí Marcus around the Falkland agus Association Misha a shine. We're going to Mark and I are going to do a double act, rather like the two Moiras have just done for the Irish Gaelic song. So Mark is going to read us over the words. My tutors in Australia have always said you have to do the words first, and I'm sure Mark will say exactly the same. And then I'm going to sing it. It's going to be a bit easier, this one. We're going to do just the one verse, and round. The song actually has a huge number of verses, we discovered. But we're just going to do the ones that are normally sung at the end of a Katie. So, Mark, thank you so much for joining us. Would you just like to go over the chorus to start with? Thank you.
Okie dokie. So as Lynn says, these words loop round. You do the chorus, which I'll do first, and then the verse, and then the chorus again. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
You can turn up a little bit,
faint.
Mark.
How's that?
No.
Is that better?
You need to go up a bit.
Becca na share.
Please.
I nearly lost it.
Is that better?
Not much. Not really.
David, can you just turn your own sound up? I think Mark.
Yes, I'm just going to do that, Lynn. Yeah.
Thanks. Sure to Gray.
Okay. Well, I've turned my microphone up to full, so I think really you have to alter things from your end, David.
That should be okay.
Right. Okay. So the chorus. You've got the words there in the chat. Sorry, leif is eiche va live. So you'll notice that those two words there are pronounced spelt the same. The reason they're pronounced slightly differently is because of the stress of the rhythm of the music. Sorry, leif is eiche va live. Give it a go. Very good. I can see voices, see mouths moving, and then we just flip the order of the words here. Eiche va lev, piano leave. So that word there looks a bit scary. It's not really. Piano. Now, in Gaelic, in our Gaelic, a CHD is a. It's a. As in loch, and then the D is like a K sound. Piano. Piano. So, eiche ba lev piano leave. So you notice that we've switched around the stress of those two leaves. Then we'll carry on. Guyam swanche na vi maddev. So that GHN is na vi maddev. And then we repeat that second line again. Eiche va lev piano lev. All right, so I'll read this two again and you read it through with me. Sorry, leif is eiche valef. Eiche valef spianoch leif. Gwyam slánte gra vi marev. Eiche valef spianoch leif. Okie dokie.
Will we see if anyone would like to read over that chorus, that is the chorus with us, or give it a go, because there's a lot of repetition between the lines. So we always ask if there might be volunteers to give it a go. Were there any words that anyone found particularly difficult there? Would anyone would like to go over with Mark? And we maybe should mention we've been discussing in the previous workshop that getting that sound. Moira has some wonderful tips about using the spittle in your mouth, which is one I've not actually heard before. That's grand. But we maybe didn't mention that in Scottish Gaelic, at least, there are two kinds of L's. So I know some of you've done these workshops with me or Mark before, and so the thick L, well, I call it a kind of lolling L. That comes when the L is next to a broad vowel A, O, and U, and the thin L, like the French L, comes when it's next to an I and an E, the thin vowels. So here we do have lots of thin L's, leave, and sorry, leave. But we will, I'm sure, encounter some thick L's at some stage.
There's a thick L in slánte, that's the only one.
That's the one. I knew there was one somewhere, slánte. So we need to kind of wall the tongue out for that one. But that's one to mention. Okay, so anyone feeling like giving that a go?
No, I tell you, I've one small question. How do you pronounce the ihe? Is it kind of ehe or
No,
ihe?
so it's like the DH is silent. You originally had one in Irish as well, but you dropped it, so don't worry about that. And OI is the same as a UI in Gaelic, so it's oiche.
Oiche.
No, not quite. It's more like a UI, so oiche. Oiche.
Oiche.
Kinda. Oiche. I know it's difficult when they're so similar, but they're just not quite, Yeah. So the way, I think Lynn's got the kind of the almost phonetic kind of spelling. I would have said UY is a closer approximation.
Yeah, I put it. It's actually between an I and an I. It's kind of eiche. It's between the two sounds. I've done phonetics. So on the words you've all got, I've put the words in Gaelic, the words in English, and my phonetics. And if you don't like my phonetics, you can write. Please feel free to write your own. Not to mention the fact that there are different ways of pronouncing some of these words in different islands anyway. And whenever I listen to Mark, I'm always hearing slightly different Gaelic, and he's about to say, but it's that's not do as Gaelic. So it's just an approximation, and there's quite a lot of sounds exactly with Irish that it's just not quite the same in English. You can't find a word in English that's got it. You just have to hear it and do your best with it. It's exactly like when we did your workshop. There's sometimes.
Stephanie wrote something that was helpful in the chat here, which was that it sounds like the French word oil, as in long d'oil, and that is actually it. That's it. And James obviously done some linguistics here. Says it starts with the schwa. That's right, it does. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so we'll go. Should we move on to the verse?
Well, no, I think we'll do a bit at a time. I was just going to add that our American friends who most of them haven't been able to join us. So Doug is here going for Sleepless Night, and definitely the prize for staying up the longest. And Dawn also is started with us at 1 a.m. But many of them have decided they can't give up that much sleep. But they have mentioned that that the ch sound occurs in Yiddish. So if anyone's got Yiddish, that's quite handy. Personally, I don't have any Yiddish, but it's worth. So it's knowing that these sounds exist in other languages, even if they don't exist in English. All right, I think we should sing it now, and then if no one wants to have a go at the words, and then we'll see if anyone would like to volunteer. So there's a lot of repetition in here, and I'm really sorry, Mark, but my lave is more like lave than I think you said it slightly differently. I don't think I can take that out of this song because I've sung it too long. So you know, if Mark and I have I got it very slightly differently, you just have to forgive us because those things happen. So long as I'm consistent, it won't matter. Okay, so I'm just going to start. Sorry, lave is a lave. And we'll just do each line a couple of times and get them. Okay. Sorry, lave is a lave. Sorry, lave is a lave. Sorry, lave is a lave. And then the words, as Mark said, repeat, but just the other way around for the next line. I think sometimes you've got to do the two together, haven't you? Okay. Sorry, lave is a lave. Eich lave spianach lave. Eich lave spianach lave. So we'll just do those two together. As ever, if your lips are moving, you're pronouncing words and singing music. If they're not moving, that's why I don't like to screen share. If they're not moving, then you're not yet having a go. So you're all muted at the moment, so you can all have a go in the peace and quiet of your own homes and see what comes out and see which bits are difficult. Okay, back to the beginning then. Ariist. Sorry, lave is a lave. Eich lave spianach lave. Okay, so how was that? Do you think we've got, so the usual system of the thumbs, thumbs up, we've got it. Thumbs along, we're not quite sure, and thumbs down, we definitely haven't got it. Okay, anyone feel they've not got it? Great, marvellous, it's going really well. We'll be home for dinner. Sure. Right, so I'm just going to go over those two lines again, and I'll launch into the third line. Sorry, lave is a lave. Eich lave spianach lave. Gwyam flan shagnavi mariv. It's almost impossible to sing these lines on their own. So I'm going to sing the two and then the third one. Sorry, lave is a lave. Eich lave spianach lave. Gwyam flan shagnavi mariv. Gwyam flan shagnavi mariv. Okay, from the beginning again, then I'll just add the fourth line. Sorry, lave is a lave. Eich lave spianach lave. Gwyam flan shagnavi mariv. Eich lave spianach lave. Eich lave spianach lave. Eich lave spianach lave. So I'm going to go back to the beginning and see how we feel about that, anything that we didn't get by putting the words and the music together. Personally, I always find it easier to put the tune and the words together. So my tutors had to beat into me the idea that you do the words first and before you actually do the music. Okay. Sorry leif is eiche va leif spianach a leif Gwyam slanchag na vi marif eiche va leif spianach a leif. Okay, so how was that? Do we think we've got that one?
Just in terms of meaning, can I just ask the V Mariv, what's the meaning of each of the words, please? I beg health. It's V Mariv.
Okay,
Is Mar more?
Mark is our choir Gaelic tutor and a great Gaelic teacher, so I'm going to let him answer that.
Just the word Mar, is that more or?
It means, Mark, you need to, are you unmuted? No, Mark, you need to unmute.
It's a bit difficult, really, because it's
Yeah.
quite idiomatic.
Okay.
Gwyam slancha Ugna is always. V is the infinitive, so a V. It should really be BITH, but that's all right. And then Madjiv, that's a shortening down of Malyadev, so with you. So Gwyam slancha Ugna vi Madjiv. I wish health always to be with you.
Okay, thank you. Good morning.
Usually when we put an apostrophe, it means something has kind of been missed off to fit the music. But thank you very much for that, Mark. Yeah, a lot of this, the Bardock is condensed in these songs and therefore quite hard to unpack. Okay, Gran, thank you for that question. Would anyone like to have a go at singing the chorus? As usual, it's not compulsory, but if anyone is willing, that's how we know if we've got it. So anyone want to have a go? We know we have some active volunteers in this group, so don't hold back. Right, Mahar. This is a moment of avoiding eye contact, or anyone give it a go.
I'll try it.
I
know it probably won't sound right. So sorry, Lavis, I cavalev, Banach slave. We slante ignobi mariv, the avalevis Banach slave. Ginny.
More on time, John. I found my reaction boss. That was absolutely lovely. We always find when we start, don't we, with singing these, there's a couple of words that are particularly difficult. I would suggest, Mark, could we just go over Eiche and Bianok?
Yeah. So that was really good. Those are the only two words that kind of stuck out, and I suppose that those are the ones that are most different between the two languages, you know? So Eiche, Eiche. Give it a go, everybody. So I don't know if you have the same thing in Irish, but we have a broad and a slender sound. So if it's front of a broad vowel, it's right there at the back of our throat with a. But we also have a slender CH sound, which is where the cheekbones lift, and then we put a Y sound on the end here. 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 But then in the other word, bianoch, that's where we've got a broad CH sound, so you can feel it right here in the back of your throat. In fact, when we were singing with the choir on Thursday at the Maud, I had my tie on too tight. And when I was doing these sounds, I could feel it vibrating against my neck. So there you go. That's how you know you're doing it right. So bian, thick ends as well in the middle. Bianoch. 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 So Eiche, Eiche, and then it moves on to Bianoch. B-Y-A-N-Och. Feel like Palermo, Glasgow. That's a Scottish reference for you. Bianoch. Bianoch. Give it a go. Bianoch.
Bianoch.
Inacta. It's very similar to the Irish. It's just we split the EA. and we've got a different ending. We've got a k on the end of the ending.
Okay. Thank you, Mark.
No worries.
And always for your wonderful explanations of where these bits of grammar come from. And okay, would anyone else like to have a go at the chorus? Because when we actually discovered when we were singing the song as the set piece for Our Ladies Choir, there are at least 6 verses, but they're not normally sung. Normally at the end we just sing the one. So you'll be delighted to know we're going to sing the one. But so the chorus is really important. So would anyone else like to have a go at singing the chorus? And thanks to John. Moira, thank you.
Sorry leves eiche valef spianoch lev. Gwiams laintach navi marev eiche valef spianoch lev.
That was fantastic, Moira. Well done. Absolutely beautiful. It was all perfect. There was just one word that I had go past it, and I can see why that would be different if it was Irish Gaelic as well. The sláinte, the one word, as Mark has pointed out, with a thick L sláinte. The thick L was absolutely gorgeous, but we would not say. I think you may have sung sláinte. I'm not sure. We make it the T would be a ch sound, sláinte.
What's the right sound there?
Sláinte.
Sláinte.
It's the N sound. It's the T I'm going for. The ch.
Yeah.
Ch there. I think it's because I was noticing that when you were singing earlier that a lot of your sounds are what we would perhaps call hard sounds, and the very lowest of, but they would not be the sounds you'd hear in Barra or Skye, or indeed Harris. All right, let's move on. I'm just going to mute Moira. Let's move on and have a go at the verse. So the verse you've got is verse 1 of what's actually a much longer song. So I'm going to hand back to Mark. And Mark, could you just go over the Gaelic, please, of verse 1? Thank you.
Yeah, just to say, Moira, Lothian Gaelic Choir every Wednesday in Edinburgh. We'll see you there. With pronunciation like that, that was super. All right, Mata. So the first verse here. So Chanil, Anil, Chanil. So Irish people should be familiar with that from Donegal Irish. I know that they would say Chonwil up there for instead of Neil. So that's what that is. Chanil. Inul, Kul. So Inul, Kul. Literally a music machine, so an instrument. Laser, laser. That's difficult because it's a slender GH, which is y, followed by an L. So laser. You kind of blur them in together. Chaniel, Inul, Kul, laser. Rúshkas. This is a broad DH. Rúshkas, Smuain, Mochlev, Guiv. So AOI is I, as opposed to E. It's I. So Rúshkas, Smuain, Mochlev, Guiv. And we pronounce the BH on the end of both of those. Clave and Ive. Moving on to the third line. Math, ni, duan, brody, duan, or viol, nun calak, Eiche valev, bianoch, lave. So we just repeat the refrain there.
Can you just read it over one more time? Thank you.
Okay. Caniel inol hul glazed Gúisce smáin má chléomh go éibh, maithní dúin ó bheáil na Cailleach, éiche bhaileh beannach léamh. So the thing to watch with this is the poet is very clever in how he flips between his broad and slender L's. So the broad L, for example, in Inyol, my L is right there at the front. In my teeth, Inyol, and then Q, it's right back, just tickling the alveolar ridge there at the top of my mouth. Q, and then my tongue forward again. Rúiscas smáin má cléomh, tongue back again, cléomh go éibh, maithní, tongue forward again, dúin ó bheáil, tongue back for that L, and then Cailleach, two slender L's together there. Éiche bhaileh beannach léamh.
Okay, so I'm not going to say are there any words there that nobody could get, but probably I should, because there's quite a lot of difficult words. This Old Bardic is densely written, so it takes a bit of work. Are there any words that you'd like to Mark to go over before I give it a go and sing it? Yeah, Stephanie, unmute. Thank you.
Am I right in hearing that there's a slight nasal sound in the middle of the vowel in viol in the third line?
That's right, yeah.
The
so
viol.
yeah,
Am I hearing? Yeah.
Yeah, so traditionally we used to have a Sheeneg Fapper and a Strach, which is what the acute looks like here. And the acute would show that the quality of the vowel is nasal, vion. Yeah. We used to have an acute on the O's as well for like mode, for example, when it was a big round juicy O. But unfortunately in the 80s they got rid of it so that our Gaelic looked less like yours.
Yeah. And thank you for that. And did I hear a kind of nasalized vowel sound, a line or two up as well in one of the other words?
Sláinte, yeah, sláinte and gra, yeah, all of those.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to look through. Yeah, Lynn's actually given you a copy, which I think is helpful, which has the acute on it. So this copy is going back probably when the bard actually wrote it. So that's why cléamh is nice and open, because it's got the acute on.
Okay. Thanks, because I was wondering too before what the difference was with the two Sheena. Yeah. Thank you very much.
That you've got there, it all shows this nasal quality. The thing with knee should really, if we're like enunciating properly, be a long vowel, but because it's a word that we say so much, that is just our future of the verb to be. So I know that you would say Jenny, we just say knee. So because it's a long one and it's unstressed in the music, it's mouth knee one. I suppose there is a bit of stress there. Anyway, the vowel doesn't feel quite as long to me as it could. But yes, it's there too. Knee.
Yeah. Many of us were very sad to lose some of the accents, which and how some words got combined, which made the grammar harder to understand. But there you go. Okay, we're going to give this a go. The good thing to notice is that the final line. Oh, sorry, John, you wanted to ask a question.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's okay.
Could somebody quickly run through the meaning of that verse, the second verse?
Do you not have the words, John, the translation?
No, sorry, I don't have them in front of me, no.
Would you mind if we just drop the meat, because otherwise we'll run out of time. If we just drop the translation into the chat in a moment, and in fact I think James has actually copied copied into the chat as well. But if one of you could actually just extract the words and drop them in the okay, Mark's done it. That's grand. Thank you. Otherwise,
thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right. So I just wanted to say that the last line, is the same as in the chorus. So we've actually done a quarter of the song already. Okay, that's probably helpful. And also the tune for the first two lines of the round, the verse are the same, are different. So the first two lines of the verse are different, the tune, but then for the third line, the tune is the same as in the chorus. Okay, so again, we've covered quite a lot of the tune. But the new part is going to be, oh, sorry, James, you sent the tune. All right. Okay. But we've got the words just above from Mark, so it's fine. We're all good. So the tune is different for the first two lines. That's going to be new. So we're going to have new tune and new words for the first two lines, and then we'll get at least a tune we recognise. Okay, we'll try and do it nice and slow. I think I put a grace note in, I shouldn't have done. Let's do that again slowly. Second line. Okay, so were there anything, was that those first two lines, were they okay? Have we got them, or do we need them a few more times? Thumbs in one direction or another, everyone? Thank you, James. Okay. Everyone, okay, a bit, we'll go over them a couple more times, that's fine, thank you. All right, now I'm going to go on to the next line. Marni duan of Yoan Kalak. 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 Then I'm going to go back to the beginning. It's really weird. I'm looking at David's background, and for a while I kept thinking that was a raised hand. It's actually a stream coming down beside you. Right, Maha. Marni duan of Yonan Kalak. Now we'll do the last line, which you've already done. So now I'm going to do the whole thing. I guess we'll see if there were any special difficulties. And be ready to volunteer. You never know. The moment might come. All right, John Lynch is just joining us. Welcome to John. Okay. So he's muted as he comes in. He's muted now. Marni duan of Yonan Kalak. We'll do the whole thing again, and then just stop me and see if there's any special bits of that one. Mar ní dúan ó bheolnan callach, eiche bhaleibs beanach leib. All right, Mahan. Any special problems with those words or tunes? Well, now is the moment to ask.
Sorry, Lynn, can I just ask, is the, you know, the go Eve, is that a kind of a g rather than a go?
Sorry?
Do you know the mushev?
Oh, the goo. Yeah,
yes.
Again, I probably say goo, but Mark, would you say goo or goo?
Yes, it is go because it's two.
Goo Ave, yes. So goo Ave, but
Goo.
there are different goos in Gaelic and in Scottish Gaelic. Yes, thank you, Mark. Okay.
Grand, thank you.
Yeah, you know, when you've been singing a song for decades, it's quite
I know.
quite hard to take it apart.
Oh, it is, absolutely. I agree with you.
All right, anyone else have any questions? And if not, would anyone like to volunteer to sing the verse? Okay, this is a moment where in an actual physical group, everyone is examining their copy closely and no one is giving you any eye contact. Is that true?
Lynn, could you go through it again, please? Just sing it through, please.
I will.
We'll sing it with you.
Grant, I'll just turn everyone off. I think David is unmuted. I would mute David as well. So, okay. Hanyel in your said Ushka smoin machle gu ave Marni duan of yonen kalak Eiche vale pianokale. All right. So would anyone like to give that one a go? It's not much more difficult than the chorus. And that's how we know if we've learnt it. So shoot. Hula. B. Anyone want to give that one a go? Stephanie Agrai. I love you to have a volunteer. So off you go. Shoot.
I might need you to help me along a small bit, right? So,
I'll pop in if you get stuck.
I'd normally sing lower, but it'd be easier for me to follow your key, you know. But I'll just try to do it the way you did it.
Choose your own key.
I've lost the melody. Why? I've lost the melody. I've lost.
No, Guy, that was actually perfect.
Okay. Smuin mach leif goif Mar ni dwen of yoil nan kaleg yeah. Well, what's the last line again, please?
Kalag, and then the same as the chorus. Eiche valeibs pianach leib.
Eiche valeibs pianach leib.
That was absolutely lovely. Well done. Not easy because that was a new tune. So
not easy.
Well done to Stephanie. Thank you. We'll just maybe try and pick up a couple of the words. I think the first two words of line 2. And another one that can sometimes trip us up. Please don't ask us to. But ask Mark to explain the Gaelic. But that N-A and N-A-N and Gaelic are sometimes a n and sometimes a na, and according to whether they're possessive or whether they're simple plurals. So in this case, I think we were having the n. So Mark, could you just go over the first two words of line 2 and the n, and anything else you want to pick up there? Thank you.
Which Rushka Smoin?
Aye.
Where was the N? Oh, the nun.
Nun
It's
Calach.
a nun Calach. Nun Calach, because it's a genital plural, genitive. Good Lord. Genitive plural. The. So nun Calach. I know that you would put the N on the front of the C in Irish, but we keep it with the nun. Anyway, the first two words, rúshkas, rúshkas. So it's a broad DH sound. So that's your gurgle, as in mouthwash, first thing in the morning. Rúshkas, rúshkas, smúine, smúine. So that's a slender N on the end of smúine, bit like in Spanish, the Ñ in España. It's the same deal. So smúine. That's one of our wordings that adjudicators like to pick up as well.
Could I ask please about the mar ni duan o?
That was perfect. You don't need to ask.
No, it's the meaning. What happens with me is I'm trying to make the connections between Gaeilge and this. So mar ni duan. Just to explain it, please.
I think mad ni duan as it's kind of as just as the song comes out of the mouth of a young out of the mouths of young girls, basically.
What's the word duan mean, please? I'm sorry.
Duan is like a melody, a ditty, a little song. It could
Okay.
be a poem.
So if it's here's what I hear in our Irish here, if it's okay, I'd say Níl éin inil cheoil ag léastar. There isn't any musical instrument that is played. Níl éin inil cheoil ag léastar. A húsíon smuinte or smuinov that wakens a thought in my chlave, in my chest, go heaving, beautifully.
Yeah.
Cosúil le dawn, or like a poem, or viol nan calib, from the bay, or viol na galini nun na galach.
Yeah.
Ihavailiv Hispanoclave. That's the way my mind works. I'm trying to make the connection between the Scots Gaelic and our Gaeilge.
Thanks,
Probably that feels quite good. The only thing is that it's the idiom for rúshke, for dúske plus go is like awakening yourself to, as opposed to awakening yourself plus adverb. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's awakening yourself to joyfulness. But I like that translation. I think you should send it over to me and I'll sing it in Irish next time.
It's not a translation. No, it's not a translation. I'm just trying to catch it, what it would come in or,
So
thank you.
Thanks, Brendan. And it's nice to make these connections. One of the reasons we wanted to do the workshops was to actually, make those links between our songs and also increase our repertoire of songs that we can sing to close a Céilí. And this is I started by saying this is relatively easy, but it's the Gaelic is quite dense and it's quite hard, isn't it? All right, I'm going to suggest
you've been at it for a long time.
I'm going to suggest we move on because I'm conscious of time and that we are going to be finishing in 8 minutes. So I was wondering whether we just go over the whole song now. Would anyone like to sing one or other of the choruses, or would you just like me to sing the whole thing through? Would anyone like to kick off the chorus? Brendan, you've unmuted yourself. Did you want to sing one?
No.
All right. Okay. So, James, are you volunteering to sing one of the choruses? All right. Would you like to sing the first or the last chorus?
The first.
Very good. Okay, that's lovely. And would anyone else like to sing the last chorus? Dawn, are you waving?
No, but I could probably.
All right. Well, let's ask. It'd be grand if Dawn would sing the last chorus, and I'll sing the verse in the middle, and then otherwise we won't actually finish in time. Then we'll just check over any other things anyone wants to go over when we've done that. Right, Maha. So James, the great thing about kicking off is that you get to choose the pitch.
The key.
So
Well, I'll try and stick with the key you were
Oh,
in
it
already.
doesn't matter.
And it helps, of course, that I've done your workshop on this song before.
I know. Hashin for you. Okay. Cheers, guy.
Sorry lev, zeiche valev, eiche valev, spianach lev. Goyam slanger nat, Goyam slanger nat ba miriv, eiche valev, spianach lev. Bit of odd pronunciation there. Gnat bim vimarev.
Vimarev, yes.
It's all right. You just swap the vowel sound. So vimaz, vimadev, gna vimadev. But apart from that, brilliant. You have a lovely voice.
Thank you.
Hashin future. Chanel in your laser, Hushkas moin mochlev guiv, Marni duan of Jolen kalak, Eiche valev bianak leiv.
Sorry, lev is Eiche valev, Eiche valev spianak lev, Guyam slanche gana vimarev, Eiche valev spianak lev.
So thank you, James and Doran. That was absolutely lovely. I think I heard one word, but I can't now remember which one it was.
Lave in the last line.
Yes, you put a vowel sound between the GHN, which probably natural thing to kind of do in English, but gna, it's all one consonant stream together.
Okay.
But well done.
Well done, everyone. That was absolutely lovely. Gna is a very difficult word to say because the GH has to be soft. And I see that the question that James has raised in the chat, is there a difference between DH and GH? And that is a whole ball game on its own. But I just put in yes and no depending on the grammar, because I'm not sure. It's really, these sounds may be silent according to where they fall in the word and also what vowel is in front of them. And it would take us a while to explain that. So I probably won't, unless Mark wants to jump in if there's a quick explanation.
I think usually when people ask that question, they're asking about them in initial position, so at the beginning of the word.
Okay.
And a broad DH and a broad GH are the same. They're both and a slender DH and a slender GH at the beginning of the word are both it's not quite a y sound. It's got more fizz to it at the front of the mouth. I don't know if you can hear that. So, but for this one, we just need to worry about the broad one. Rushkas.
But either way, they're both the same, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's the short explanation then, for which we are duly grateful. Okay, so we're coming towards the end of our workshop. We'll finish in 4 minutes. So, are there any bits of words or music that anyone would like to go over before we close?
I think my main difficulty is once I feel I've mastered part of the tune, by the time it comes round again, I've forgotten the leaps in the melody because I've been trying to sing at your pitch, which I can't quite make. So if I'm taking it an octave down, I then lose the tune by the time I come to the next line.
Okay.
Want me to sing
there's no easy way around that, is there?
Well, repitching it where you want it. Also, if you read dots or if the dots are of use to you,
no,
James,
I don't do dots.
No, okay. Well, the only thing that I think, it's a big ask for anyone to learn a song in another language that they don't actually speak in an hour. So, we're not saying anyone is an expert by the end of the hour. What we are doing is we're recording this and so that you can go back over the sections of it. And also, I probably have recorded it as an MP3 file. So if anyone wants an MP3 file of words or music, will you just drop me a line, and I will at some stage in the next week or two get it over to you. But if you find the recording here too long to use, I'll just do a quick turnabout.
That's really useful. Yeah, really useful.
Okay.
It'll be on your website, won't
It's
it?
a great way of starting.
I've to be honest, James, I've stopped putting stuff on the website because it just clogs it up, and it's quite a basic website. So I tend now to just send stuff out to people who want it. And usually when we do the Gaelic song workshops, I usually record and send it out to everyone who's coming. So everyone has come.
And Lynn, sorry, can I ask you, are you able to send this session now by email, is it?
So what will happen is when we all finish in 1 minute, I will the recording will automatically save, but because it'll be 2 hours, it'll be quite big, so it will take quite a while to save, and then it will be an enormous file which is much too big to email.
All
so
right.
What I can do is I can put it on a private private YouTube and send you all the link to it. If we're happy, we could maybe put it on a public YouTube as well. But everyone who's here, I can give you a link to a private recording on YouTube. And I'm just going
to... Thanks very much.